Coming up on the Extra Point, the WKU baseball team looks to stay red hot as they host the Purdue Boilermakers this weekend.
That's right, and we'll preview what CUSA has in store for the Tops next on the Extra Point.
The Extra Point.
All right, Matt, this is your first time anchoring the Extra Point. How are you feeling?
I was feeling good when they told me I was going to anchor, but to be honest, I was a little upset because they told me I had to do it with a Dodgers fan. Like I was really going to hope that Nick Brake was going to anchor with me, and we just talked about the Red Sox for 30 minutes.
Right, except that wouldn't fit in 30 minutes. So
yeah, we would have to do like a 3-hour show and try to get Red Sox players on, but obviously that wouldn't happen.
Right, so let's get right into it, Matt.
All right. After losing in double OT to MTSU last week, the Lady Toppers basketball team returned to their winning ways Thursday night against the Charlotte 49ers. WKU won by a final score of 71-60. Raneem El-Jadawi led the way, dropping another one of her double-doubles, collecting 29 points and 16 rebounds. 7 of Raneem's rebounds were offensive. Meryl Abdelgawad also put together a nice game for the Lady Tops, scoring 13 points and going 3 for 6 from downtown. And it was an unusual game for Dee Gibbons as the star guard scored just 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting. The Lady Toppers will return to Diddle Saturday to host La Tech for their last game of the regular season. Here's what Coach Greg Collins had to say.
We have to play well against these teams, and we didn't play well all night long, but we played well when it mattered and did a good job of kind of finishing it off. So it keeps us in the mix and gives us a shot. This conference is better than it's ever been, and you can't discount a team based on their record. Like on any given night, literally any team in this conference can beat any other team. And so just like tonight, it'll take our best effort.
It was heartbreak in Texas for the Hilltopper basketball team. WKU faced North Texas Sunday, leading the Mean Green by 6 with 4:10 on the clock. North Texas scored the last 6 points of regulation. Junior guard Tavion Hollingsworth had 2 free throws to potentially win with 5 seconds left, but missed both, sending the game into overtime. The Hilltoppers led by 1 with 2:29 to go, but the Mean Green took the game with 2 dunks. With the win, North Texas secured the regular season conference championship. The Hilltoppers will finish off the regular season at FIU tomorrow in Miami. A WKU junior guard is the National Player of the Week. The U.S. Basketball Writers Association named Tavion Hollingsworth the Oscar Robertson National Player of the Week. He's the first Hilltopper to ever earn the honor. After winning the Conference USA Player of the Week, Hollingsworth was nominated for the award. In the week, he averaged 32.5 points in a split of 2 overtime games against the top 2 teams in CUSA. Against Louisiana Tech, he poured in a career-high 43 points. And on Sunday, Hollingsworth had a team-high 22 points against the Mean Green. Fans can expect to see Hollingsworth in action in Florida tomorrow against FIU. So, Matt, the regular season ends this weekend. What do the Tops have to do to win CUSA? Yeah,
well, you know Tavion Hollingsworth, he's going to ball out, so you need help from the other players. You need Carson Williams to step up. He showed this season that when he gets against bigger centers that he tends to not play as big as he was in the beginning of the season when he was playing the smaller centers. And you also need Jordan Rawls. I mean, he's really been struggling. He's a key piece. You need him to get going. But, I mean, not just those guys. I mean, Conference USA is full of talent.
Right, and let me tell you about some of the people that I'm looking out for in Conference USA. First off, from the Tops, we have to talk about Tavion Hollingsworth. I mean, he's been so successful just over the past, 2 weeks. He's won the Conference USA Player of the Week twice, and then, as we just said, then went on to win the national award.
Yeah.
So definitely a key player. And then we also need to talk about Cam Justice. He adds something, exactly. He adds something to WKU, a little bit more depth and some more outside shooting. So he's definitely going to be a key player to WKU's success. And, my biggest worry for the Tops isn't going to be the regular season champ North Texas, but actually La Tech. So we'll have to look out for them. I know we beat them in the past.
Yeah, but definitely if Cam Justice is shooting the ball well, I mean, the Hilltoppers are definitely tough to beat. WKU Baseball lost a back-and-forth game at home on Tuesday against the Belmont Bruins. After coming back from down 6-3 in the 6th inning, the Hilltoppers gave up 3 runs in the top of the 8th to lose 9-7. The Tops DH Davis Sims could not have hit the ball any better, going 4 for 5 with 5 RBIs. Even though the bats were smoking for WKU, the Belmont Bruins hit the Tops pitching like opposing hitters hit Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs. Goodness gracious. Hilltopper starter Riley Boyd went just 2 2/3 innings while giving up 6 earned runs on 6 hits, and relief pitcher Hunter Crosby got the loss, giving up 3 earned runs on 2/3 innings. For Belmont, they were led by second baseman Logan Jarvis, who went 3 for 5, driving in 2 runs. The Tops will now focus to their big 3-game home series against Purdue this weekend. The Tops and Boilermakers currently in the 1st inning, and with Michael Darrell Hicks on the mound, the score is currently 2-1 with the Tops in the lead, thanks to a Ray Zuberer RBI single.
Over the weekend, the Lady Tops softball team captured a win over the Redbirds. WKU secured Sunday's Hilltopper Spring Fling Championship title with a 12-1 5-inning victory over Illinois State. The red and white exploded for an 11-run 4th inning, including a grand slam from Kennedy Sullivan. Kelsey Ike was another strong player, delivering a double-digit strikeout and moving into 5th place on WKU's career strikeout list. The Hilltoppers now have a 17-4 record. Follow the Extra Point on Twitter to stay updated on the game. And here's head coach Amy Tudor on WKU's successful weekend in this year's Spring Fling.
I thought we had great plate approaches. I felt like we gave ourselves a chance to win every single time that we were up to the plate. We were very confident, and our circle was strong, along with some very strong defense. We're pretty confident right now, and I think confidence is key going into conference. There's always things we can get better at for all parts of the game, but I'm pretty happy with this weekend.
Western softball increased their winning streak to 5 on Wednesday when they absolutely destroyed the Belmont Bruins. The Lady Tops won by a final score of 10-0 and finished the game in 5 innings. Kennedy Sullivan gave her best Shohei Ohtani impersonation, pitching a complete game shutout while racking up 9 strikeouts and then leading the offense, going 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Is there something this girl cannot do? I think not, ladies and gentlemen. Next up for the Lady Tops, they will look to carry this good form into conference play against MTSU with a game currently underway here on the Hill. Coming up on the Extra Point, yet another WKU head coach reached a big career milestone. Find out who coming up.
And coming up, there's a new sport in Music City. I'll get you up to date on Nashville's SC and their hopes for an MLS Cup. WKU Baseball had more than one victory over the weekend. The Hilltoppers took home a win over USC upstate, and with it, head coach John Pulowski earned his 600th career win. WKU battled back from multiple deficits throughout the game before pulling away in the final few frames. The game was a 17-9 victory with the help of top hitters Richard Constantine, who hit 3 for 6, and Matt Phillips, who went 3 for 5. Offensively, the Hilltoppers produced season highs in runs with 17, hits 16, and walks 12. Here's what Coach Pulowski had to say about the monumental win.
I tell you, I've been very, very fortunate to have, great players, great coaches. I've, been fortunate to have great people around me, and I'm just thankful that I've had the opportunity to be in this position to coach this great game of baseball with student athletes. And I'm so excited to be here at WKU and, the support we have here. So great win for us today, and certainly a milestone, and it's exciting for sure.
The Lady Topper golf team faced Louisville in the Battle of the Bluegrass. The match play style took place on Leap Day, but the outcome was far from special. WKU was defeated by Louisville 6.5 to 0.5. The team played 7 individual matches. Each match was worth 1 point. Many of the matches came down to the final few holes. The first golfer, Mary Joyner, was up against nationally ranked Lauren Hartledge, who won the match 3-2. Junior Megan Clark was up second, battling through 18 holes and eventually falling 3-1 on the 17th hole. Sarah Arnold, third, fought off a Cardinal to earn WKU its sole half point. The team travels to Florida next to take on UNF.
The unthinkable occurred when WKU men's golf coach Philip Hatchett passed away in a biking accident in 2018. And what the program has recently just done for him will make sure that he is never forgotten in WKU golf history. The WKU golf team opened a new practice facility named after former coach Philip Hatchett. Coach Hatchett lost his life in a biking accident in the summer of 2018. Regardless of the sport, players form a bond with their coaches. Philip Hatchett and WKU women's golfer Mary Joyner have been tight since Mary started to find her love of the game.
I took lessons from him since I was like 8 years old, so he was kind of like my second father. So he just taught me like literally everything I know about golf. Like he taught me all that, but he taught me a lot about life. Losing him was really hard, but having this building and everything just means a lot.
After spending more than a decade of going to the range and the putting green together, Joyner says it is special to know that Coach Hatchett will forever go down as a Hilltopper great.
Just naming it after Coach Hatchett, like his legacy will live on forever in this building, and it just means so much. And he just did so much for the program.
The facility is high-tech with a putting green that can tell the players what line they need to take and a long game simulator tracking how well they're hitting the ball.
It's just really cool to have a place to practice. And I mean, the weather hasn't been great this spring, so being able to come in here, have a place that's our own, it's really going to help the program.
Mary will definitely be using the facility heavily for the next couple of months with the CUSA tournament coming up in late April. The WKU women's golf team will be playing in the UNF Collegiate in Jacksonville, Florida, starting this Monday, and the men will be playing in the Tiger Invitational in Opelika, Alabama, starting this Sunday. For the third straight year, Warren Central and Bowling Green squared off against each other in the 14th District Championship. Now immerse yourselves in the sights and sounds of this round 3 matchup.
Just being physical. I wouldn't say that we don't like physicality, but we're just not used to it. So with them being physical and we're not doing what we're used to doing, it was a little tougher, but we adjusted pretty good and we just kept playing.
It was hard to get a rhythm tonight because both teams are so good defensively, physical, athletic, but I thought that was big for us. Jackson, over on the bench, we started kind of calling his number because you could tell not only was he scoring, but he was just in a great groove. So we just kept going to him.
It was just a mindset. It's a man's game, so you got to come in with the mind that you want to kill. So we all knew that if we wanted to win this game and cut down these nets, we were going to have to man up and play physical with these guys.
And move with the ball. Side to side. They know what's at stake. You know, we're going to enjoy this, but they know. They're excited to go compete at Diddle. They'll get ready to go, and we'll take it one game at a time. We won't look any further than the game in front of us.
With their 57-51 win, Bowling Green has officially a Bulls and Golden State Warriors type dynasty with 7 straight district championships.
Nashville finally arrived to the scene in Major League Soccer. The previously second division side was granted a bid into the MLS back in 2017. The club brought in a wave of new players, including MLS veterans and international talent. Their first game in the league drew nearly 60,000 fans into Nissan Stadium. American defender Walker Zimmerman scored the team's one and only goal of the night. The game ended in a 2-1 loss for Nashville. They'll be back in action Sunday in Portland against the Timbers.
And there's more than just scores affecting sports. We're discussing how COVID-19 could affect sports on Going for Two.
That's right. And after a long season, the 4th Region Tournament is finally here. 8 teams entered the tournament with hopes punching their ticket to the Rupp Arena for the Sweet 16. Well, like we told you before the break, after a long season, the 4th Region Tournament is finally here. 8 teams entered the tournament with hopes of punching their ticket to Rupp Arena for the Sweet 16. In round 1, the 14th District champs Bowling Green would face Allen County Scottsville. Logan County would be matched up against Cumberland County, who are making their first appearance in the tournament since 2009. On the other side of the bracket, Barron County played the defending back-to-back region champs, Warren Central, and Clinton County faced off against Franklin Simpson.
The Bowling Green Purples look to continue their winning ways against Allen County Scottsville. The Purples had a big night from senior guard Dorian Morrison, whose field goal percentage on the year has been just under 50%. Despite some key baskets made by the Patriots, Bowling Green was able to dominate for most of the contest. The Purples ran away with a 78-46 win, advancing their postseason record to 3-0 and sending them to the semifinals of the 4th Region Tournament. Here's ACS coach Brad Bonds after the game talking about how Bowling Green makes other teams uncomfortable offensively.
I thought they did a really good job of jumping our offense and forcing an up-tempo game early, something that we really didn't want to have to deal with. And so, you know, the battle of the wheels early definitely came down to them. They won that, kind of put us back on our heels, and then it started affecting us within our offense on how to actually make shots.
Logan County absolutely put the hammer down on Cumberland County, winning by a final score of 79-58. Listen to what John Tinsel had to say on the Cougars' win.
We got off to a great start, and then went through a little lull in the second quarter. You know, it happens sometimes in tournament games. You know, you get off to a great start, had a great first quarter. That being said, we got on those runs, and, you know, our defense is really, really good. And tonight it was okay for us, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's really, really hard to play in those kind of games. I can say it now. They're a tough team to play against. They're very athletic. They concern me in a lot of areas because, you know, we beat them up there 66-50. And I could see a lot of things they could do. And I thought they made some nice adjustments tonight and did what they needed to do to give themselves a chance. I've heard all year about Bowling Green. They're very good. I've heard all year about Warren Central. They're very good. I think we've won 24 in a row. So, you know, they're going to have to prepare for us. We're going to have to prepare for them. 25 in a row? Well, either way, you know, they're going to have to prepare for us.
Last season, Warren Central danced all the way to the Final Four of the state tournament. This season, the Dragons want to go all the way. In round one, they took on Barron County fresh off a district championship. However, this game would be all Warren Central. Here you see DeAndre Boyd dunking on Will Bandy. He and Kobe Brents combined for 40 of the Dragons' points. Warren Central would go on to win the game 77-46. It's their 17th double-digit win of the season. Warren Central will advance to the semifinals of the 4th Region Tournament. Franklin Simpson and Clinton County had one thing in mind: advancing to the semis. This game would go back and forth for 3 quarters as both teams exchanged big shots. DeMarcus Hogan, number 5, would take the ball all the way to the rack and get a little bit of help from the rim. You can see him right here, and it's in. And senior Evan Dearborn didn't want this to be his last game. You see him sinking a big-time three-pointer in the first quarter to get the Bulldogs going early. Franklin Simpson eventually hit their stride, but it wasn't enough. Clinton County went on to win 53-42. They'll face the Dragons of Warren Central March 9th in EA Diddle Arena.
Now that we have brought you up to date, Miles Schroeder and Nathan Yazdani break down what the underdog teams have to do to take down the likes of 4th Region heavyweights Bowling Green and Warren Central.
Thanks, guys. We're in front of EA Diddle Arena, where the games will be taking place next Monday and Tuesday night. And this is a case of same story, different year. You know, Bowling Green and Warren Central have made it to the Final Four yet again, but this year, some underdog teams have the chance to shut them down. One of those underdog teams that I want to talk to you about, Nathan, is Clinton County. What do you think they need to do to stop Warren Central? I mean, Warren Central seems almost unstoppable against this Bulldogs team.
Right. You know, Clinton County, one of the most hardworking teams in the region. Although, again, in that first round game against Franklin Simpson, didn't make some of the smartest decisions. So when they go up against Warren Central, they have to be poised against that half-court press against Warren Central. On the defensive end, they need to limit three-point looks from Tatum Smith and Kobe Brents. They're one of the major keys to success for Warren Central in many of their wins, and one of the keys for a lot of their losses. And then third, and one of the most important things, is they have to match Warren Central on the rebounds, just like Coach Todd Messer said in the press conference after the game against Franklin Simpson. And now on the other side of the charts, you have Logan County versus Bowling Green, Miles. And, you know, Logan County, the best record in the 4th region, but it seems like Bowling Green is just unstoppable, kind of like you said for Warren Central. So what does Logan County have to do to stop what is seemingly Bowling Green at their best?
Well, so far throughout this tournament, we've seen Bowling Green dominate on the offensive glass. I think that's what Logan County has to limit in this game. Isaiah Mason has been destroying the offensive boards, and Bowling Green's a team that they get such smart shots that you can't have them where they're having, 2-3 shots per possession, because all 3 of those shots are going to be smart shots. So that'll be my #1 key for Logan County in this game. Can they do it? We'll find out on Monday night. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, guys. Coming up, we have a jaw dropper for you that you cannot afford to miss.
That's right. And on Going for Two, we're going to discuss how COVID-19 is already affecting sports and how it could affect sports in the future. That's up next. After a successful season, we have to acknowledge the work of our Lady Topper basketball team. The team stands 21-7 with the Lady Tops winning all of their home games. Among the players who have held the team up are senior players Dee Givens, Whitney Creech, Alexis Brewer, and Sandra Skinner. Congratulations to our seniors. You are this week's Heroes on the Hill.
All right, so I told you guys that I have an insane jaw dropper for you guys. So can we get that pulled up? Are we gonna get it? We're gonna get it pulled up. Here it is. So they call this man Rooster, and you know how roosters wake people up. Well, this is gonna wake. So, boom! Oh my goodness gracious! Like, can we get a little slow mo? Oh my, yeah. That's some hops. I wish I could do that. Good Lord, that is nice, Rooster.
I love your energy, Matt. You've
you.
been awesome. So now our Going for Two, unfortunately, is going to take a darker turn. We're talking about how the spread of COVID-19 has been affecting sports and is going to affect sports in the future. So first we have to bring up, are we even going to have fans in the stadium anymore?
Yeah, so what was it right now? So Italy is not allowing fans to go to soccer games. And obviously we know that the coronavirus has entered the U.S. And actually C.J. McCollum, shooting guard for the Blazers, is not even signing autographs for fans because he's afraid of getting the virus. And I tell you what, March Madness is coming up. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if they just started not allowing fans to go to March Madness? You know how much money they make? I mean, it would be insane. This is just crazy.
Right. Well, and it's not just Italy either. Switzerland, actually, their National Hockey League literally played in almost an empty arena because they're not allowing groups of people over 1,000. So imagine only playing in front of 500 people. That's less than the amount of people you probably had at your graduation.
Yeah, now I remember we were talking about this before the show, and the only thing that I've seen really with no fans and not involving the virus was the Baltimore Orioles had the game when they had, the retaliations going on in Baltimore. They didn't let anybody go to an Orioles-White Sox game, I believe it was.
Right.
So
we even have some NBA executives right now. They're considering playing behind closed doors. And you just have to think about how that's even going to affect the media aspect, because are people going to want to watch the games or is viewership going to go down?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if MLB starts doing, I'm going to be very sad because I'm going to try to go to an MLB game, so I'll be very sad if they do that.
Well, that's all the time we have tonight. Thank you for tuning in.